Hey everyone, welcome back to Tea and Therapy. So in this video, I'm actually going to be talking about some of the recent events that have happened in the mainstream media. I don't normally like to bring that type of thing over here, but I think actually it's really important that we do discuss this because there seems to be an awful lot of this that's going around right now. So if this is something that you want to talk about, and if this is about this particular person, but the message that's kind of behind what's going on, then this video could be for you. So if you want to join me in this video where we do a little bit of an analysis into what is kind of going on and the message, like I say, behind that, then sit back, relax, and let's dive right in. So I'm sure some of you are aware at the moment that what is going on in social media with regards to this particular person, and it seems that there's a lot of that. This has been going on a lot with certain celebrities that are being brought to the forefront and accused, and some have been convicted of this type of thing. And it's, as a therapist, it can be very challenging for me when I read this type of thing, because instinctively my heart goes out to anyone that has gone through this type of thing. And I'm going to put this up here because I have to be really careful what I say on YouTube, because it gets flagged, and for some reason you can get demonetized, or it can be the video taken down. And I want to try and get the message across without that happening. So that my first instinct as a human being, as a therapist, etc., is what is going on. And when you've got women or men that come forward and talk about something like this, my heart does go out to them, because I just think, firstly, how brave to do something along those lines, but also, how difficult this must be. But it's not as black and white as that. And unfortunately, especially nowadays, when we've spoken about the likes of, and I'm going to use Amber Heard as an example, of somebody that has accused somebody of, Johnny Depp, of something, and it's turned out not to be true. Now, these people are obviously in the public eye, but we do know that this type of thing also goes on behind the scenes. So it's kind of like, well, where do we draw the line here? Because I see a lot of mixed reviews on this. I see a lot of people that are saying, all people that come forward should be believed, but we're not having that necessarily. What we're having is this trial by mainstream media, this trial by social media. And this is when I feel we've lost the meaning of what it means to stand behind survivors of this type of thing and give them the help and support, not just that they need personally, but also justice. Because what we're also seeing is that it's becoming all too easy to accuse somebody and, without any evidence present, convict that person in the eyes of the media. So we have to look at two scenarios here. We have to look at the people that come forward, and we also have to look at the people they accuse. Is it right to automatically condemn somebody after an accusation has been made? In my opinion, no. Because an accusation is exactly that. Anyone can accuse somebody of something. I'm not saying that I don't say that what happened isn't true, but let's look at this factually. Anyone can accuse somebody of anything in any society, in any day, but especially nowadays. And what we're seeing is that after an accusation has been made, the person is then accused and it's being outed publicly. Now, this doesn't happen in the world of you and I. If we accuse somebody from down the road, they don't then get hauled through the media, but celebrities do. Now, should they be held to a higher standard? I think that's for an individual to decide. Me personally, I think they should be held to the same account as everybody else. They shouldn't be given special treatment, and they shouldn't be given worse treatment because of who they are. So looking at this particular thing in general, we have the fact that these women have come forward. There's apparently been this 4-year investigation by journalists, and the fact that this man has been accused by these women. But so far, no evidence has come to light to pinpoint or evidence to show that what actually happened. And this is where it becomes, in my opinion, a very, very grey area, because especially given the fact this happened 20 years ago. So how do you go about proving something along those lines? Now, in my opinion, it is not our job. It is not the mainstream media's job to do that. It is down to the law to do that. And if this person is found guilty, in my opinion, if they are then outed publicly, I would guess that is a result of the fact that they are in the public eye. But we've seen firsthand that celebrities who've had evidence against them get away with it. Nothing happens to them. They don't get demonetized. They don't get anything happen to them. They get to keep their jobs. They get to keep their careers. They get to still earn money. So why is this happening? And, you know, I have my own thoughts and opinions on this. I'm not saying that these women haven't maybe gone through something. I don't know. I don't know anything about them, so it's very difficult to I don't want to make any assumptions. However, I do know that the person that's being accused has openly admitted his past, and he has done things to make amends. He has got a wife and children. He leads a very, from what I can see, a very clean lifestyle, you know, making amends for the things that he's done. Surely that is what matters. Now, of course, if it's something very bad and the person in question feels that they want to do something about that, that is their right to do so. But when we've got this where people have come forward, they've accused, but nothing's happened, and except that this person has had his whole life in it almost ruined, and then you've got the government getting involved, which is just completely unheard of. But you've also got the fact that he is somebody that's very high profile, that does speak out against things that people are not comfortable with. He's very knowledgeable. So then the argument could be, could it be that? And whichever way you fall, you know, whether you want to believe the women, and I think that, you know, it's not about don't believe them. It's okay, if someone comes forward, then absolutely believe it, but then do your due diligence and find the evidence and the proof, etc., and, you know, lay that all out there. But from what I've seen, that hasn't happened. What's happened is that this guy has been accused, and there's not been any evidence aside from an accusation. And the fact that all these people are kind of jumping on this bandwagon due to, you know, people are coming out of the woodwork, like Lorraine Kelly, who was on Graham Norton all those years ago, and you've got a clip where she's laughing and joking at something Russell has said to her, and she's laughing and joking about it, but has suddenly come out now and gone, oh, but I was very uncomfortable at the time. I mean, you might have been, but why? Why do you feel the need to come out and say that now? Did you say that at the time? No. Okay, you can argue that perhaps she didn't feel that she could say that then. If, say, he'd done something you'd spoken to other people about, or it was something so serious that you didn't feel ready to come forward about it, but you're coming forward about it now. But when you see that you're laughing and joking and finding it very funny, and they're using that, and then you're using that to almost jump on this bandwagon, I think that this is what hurts genuine people that have gone through something along these lines. It is going to be very hard for women to, if this is deemed and it comes out that he's innocent, which, you know, he's at this moment, he's proclaiming that he is, and we have to give that the benefit of the doubt because no evidence has come forward. So we, as much as giving them the benefit of the doubt, why are we not giving him the benefit of the doubt instead of accusing him and jumping on this bandwagon of accusing him? Because men, believe it or not, can be victims too. And men are and have been accused of things. Like I say, we've only got to look at Johnny Depp to see that if he hadn't have taken her to court and this hadn't have been all public, there still would have been this backlash where his whole career was tanked due to her accusations with no evidence whatsoever apart from an orchestrated pap shoot where she comes out with this bruise on her face. And, you know, if you're somebody just looking at that, you are going to necessarily think, oh, you know, this is terrible. But in my experience, in the work that I've done, most people that do go through something like this are not public about it. And I'm not saying that these women are not telling the truth. I don't know enough to know whether they are or they're not. Maybe they have gone through something with him and for some reason, you know, they feel the need to come out now. But what I find very strange is that what is also coming out is that journalists are contacting lots of people in regards to this, but when they're not getting what they want, they're not putting those people forward. They're trying to find almost any little bit of dirt, I feel, and I find that worrying. Because are any of us safe? And like I say, and if this hasn't happened and these women are not being completely honest, this is going to damage people that come forward. It is going to make it that bit harder. But also, like I say, for the fact that men do get accused. You know, if you're somebody that feels uncomfortable with banter with a guy or a guy is flirtatious with you, then that is obviously something that is serious. And I'm not saying that that shouldn't be that should be taken lightly, because it shouldn't. But not everyone feels the same. You know, not every woman is against a guy flirting with her or but what it's doing is, I think, is creating this void. Men are going to get so terrified about approaching a woman for fear of, is that going to be taken the wrong way? Now, we could say that common sense should play a part in this. You know, we can see from social media that it doesn't. And so then what happens then is the real victims, the real survivors of something like this get swept under the rug, and then they get, because where's the outcry and the outrage for the fact that this happens in every walk of life, for people like us who are not in the public eye? Where's the media outrage for those people that have gone through something like that? There isn't any, but because it's somebody in the public eye, it's consumed, it's everywhere. Who's in the right here and who's in the wrong? Well, in my opinion, I think the media are absolutely in the wrong. You know, if he had been tried and he'd gone to court and the evidence was insurmountable, then fair enough. You know, you're in the public eye, you know, but when you don't play fair, and when you certainly have people that have insurmountable proof that are in the public eye, but yet still remain in a job in the public eye, still remain on this platform, well, then you're cherry picking. You've either got to make one rule for everybody or not at all. And this is damaging. This is damaging for the real people that suffer. Because, like I say, and it's not just the people in question, it's the fact that there's families involved, there's friends involved, there's colleagues involved that might, you know, that get pulled into all of this. And so surely the best thing to do would be to get your facts straight first, do this properly, and then see what the outcome is. Because unfortunately now, regardless of what's going to happen, because the women have remained anonymous, and I don't blame them for that, I don't. However, he's everywhere. And he's lost a lot already, which, okay, if he's guilty, fair enough. But none of us know whether he is or he isn't. So he's being condemned with no evidence at the moment that I can see. I mean, obviously, if there's things that I haven't seen, then by all means drop it in the comments. But it does worry me that free speech seems to... the truth doesn't seem to matter, or the truth is almost a sentence now. You know, the more you speak out in regards to the truth, the more you are in fear. You know, where's journalistic integrity? Where's that gone? Where's finding the truth about something? And then, you know, you've got other things that are coming out. And I feel that this is damaging and it's triggering for a lot of people. I'm sure that many of you who've watched this, you know, if you've gone through something yourself, you're automatically probably going to think that he's guilty, even though there's no evidence. And that's understandable. You know, it's going to bring up things for a lot of people. And if it does come out that he isn't guilty, you know, what about what he's gone through? Will anybody consider that? Will anybody consider what he's gone through? Or, you know, his wife or his children? You know, does any of that matter? And to me, it should matter. It should matter. You know, because regardless, you know, that's not them. You know, it's now becoming, instead of innocent till proven guilty, it's guilty till proven innocent. And I think that that's very worrying for a lot of people who might want to come forward. If they've genuinely gone through something, they are going to think twice about doing that because of the way that things are going right now. And I find that very upsetting. But like I say, I know this is slightly a different video, but I didn't really want to talk about it on my other channel. But let me know what you think in the comments. You know, are you somebody that you agree with what's happening to him? Do you stand by, or do you stand by him? Do you think that free speech is going down the pan? And that is something that we should be very concerned about. Is this something that, you know, or have you gone through something very similar in your life where something like this has happened, where you've been accused of something and you haven't done it? Or you've tried to speak out against somebody and you've not been believed. You know, drop your story in the comments below, and I will try to get to every single one of you. If you've enjoyed this, like I say, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, so you don't miss future uploads. If you want to treat me to a cuppa, the link is in the description box below. And I will hopefully see you in the next video. In the meantime, have a great weekend, whatever you're doing. And just please take care, look after yourself, and I'll see you then. So take care. Bye-bye.